Have you ever accidentally caused the exact thing you were trying to prevent? Make sure to like and subscribe for more stories like this. I spent 3 weeks mentally preparing for this Christmas dinner, and I almost made it. The restaurant my mom booked was one of those nice Italian places where the tablecloths are actual cloth, and they refill your water before you have to ask. And for the first 45 minutes, the table was almost civil. My Uncle Dave and my dad hadn't said a word to each other, which was genuinely best-case scenario at this point. My Aunt Carol was on her second glass of wine laughing at something my cousin said, and I remember thinking, okay, we might actually get through this one. I had no idea that in 10 minutes I was going to be the reason the whole night came apart. Our server came over to take the entree orders, and when she leaned in close to hear me over the noise, I looked up and my stomach just dropped. I knew her, not from the restaurant. I knew her from a parking lot outside a gym. 6 months earlier, where she'd been crying into her phone, and I'd accidentally overheard enough to understand that she was the woman my Uncle Dave had been seeing behind my Aunt Carol's back. I'd been sitting on that for 6 months. Couldn't prove it, didn't want to blow up the family on a maybe, and told myself every week that I was being careful. She didn't recognize me. She smiled, took my order, said enjoy your evening with your family, and went to move on. And I said, automatically without thinking, you too. She paused, half a second. My Aunt Carol, who notices everything, looked straight at me. Do you know her? And my face did exactly what a guilty face does when it's trying very hard not to be one. No, I said. She just seemed familiar. Wrong answer, because now Carol is watching her. Every time the server comes back to refill water or drop off bread. Carol's eyes track across the table, and I can see her doing the math slowly and quietly. I tried to redirect, asked my dad a question about work, knocked my fork off the table on purpose, made a joke that landed badly. But the thing about my Aunt Carol is she doesn't let things go. She's not loud about it, she's quiet about it, which is so much worse. By the time dessert came out, Carol had gone to the bathroom twice and come back both times with this very specific look on her face, the kind that means she's already figured it out and she's just deciding what to do with the information. She didn't say anything at dinner. She smiled and finished her wine and said good night. She waited until they got home. I found out from my cousin 2 days later after everything. The thing is, if I'd never said, you too, Carol never looks twice. If I'd just told her 6 months ago what I overheard in that parking lot, she'd have had time to process it privately, on her own terms, not at a Christmas dinner in front of the whole family. Instead, I tried to do nothing, and nothing, it turns out, is its own kind of decision. I still eat at restaurants. I still get told to enjoy my meal. And every time I pause just a little before I answer because I know now. Even the words you say without thinking are a choice. And sometimes they're the loudest choice you make.